Yes.
Hello. All right. Can I get your name, age, and pronouns, please?
Timothy. My age, I'm 42, and I am a him/he.
Okay. I like him, he. You know, you don't see people put it in that order often. Sometimes we got to be a little different, you know? Okay. Timothy, what topic on the board did you want to debate about today?
The gender one you were just discussing actually got me thinking, and one of the reasons I called in.
Okay. What specifically about it got your wheels turning?
As I told you, I'm 42 years old. When I was in high school, there was a gender debate that actually went on in my school.
Mm-hmm.
It went on in French, where the origination of the word gender came from, and it was a debate as to whether or not a computer was male or female. Because gender, in its original form, old school French, was a descriptor of items. So to use it for a descriptor of people, it's kind of a bastardization, and I'm sorry if that word is rude, of the word.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So you think that using gender for people is a bastardization?
Yeah, it is a bastardization of the word. It's a bastardization of the concept.
Mm-hmm.
People can be trans men, trans women. That's fine, but it does not conflate equally to man or woman. There are so many genders right now. If you can defend one gender I ask about and give me any kind of a solid, logical reason that it can and should exist, any reason.
Can I just ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Timothy, what is currently sitting in your driveway or like on the street outside of your house? Like, what do you drive?
Road. Oh, Toyota.
A Toyota. Okay. And that's your car.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you call it a car? Like when you go outside, you go, well, I'm going to go get in my car. I was driving my car. Do you use the word car like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you consider that a bastardization since the original meaning of the word car meant specifically a wagon or cart?
No, because it is still used in the same manner.
No, my automobile is not a wagon.
Method of transporting.
Gender is being used to categorize, so it's being used in the same method as a categorization tool. But my Nissan is not a wagon or a cart, right? So this would be a bastardization.
Can you use it to haul stuff? Is it used to haul stuff or to propel a person from one destination to another?
Is it? Yeah, sure. Is gender used to categorize things into specific categories? Yeah.
It is used to categorize items, things.
Sure.
Now,
but using it you're walking into a bit of a logical contradiction here, because you're saying gender is bastardized because we don't use it in the same way, which would be we don't use it to categorize things, but car is not bastardized because a car is still used. It's no longer a wagon or a cart, but it's still used to transport stuff. Gender, we're no longer talking about items, we're talking about people, but it's still used to categorize things. So where's I'm missing the symmetry breaker here, why these things would not be considered, why one would be considered a bastardization and one would not.
Okay. One is there is no succinct area of transition. Cars, as carts or wagons, were used to transport things and people. with the increase of technology, it transitioned into the automobile, the car, the modern car, which is used to transport people and things. That's a natural transition.
Yeah, I feel like there's a breakdown somewhere here, because I feel like you're not succinctly showing where the symmetry break in this would be. Can I just ask you a slightly different? Do you consider yourself a nice person?
I consider myself an honest person.
So you wouldn't consider yourself?
Honesty is not always nice.
Okay. Have you been a nice person before?
I do nice things, but I also tell the truth.
Okay, so you do nice things. You would say that I, as a person,
is not necessarily nice.
You would say that I, as a person, do nice things. Like you, Timothy, do nice things.
Nice is just such a weird concept because it gets into religion and good and evil. Things like that are really very philosophical.
I don't think nice has to get into religion. I'll make it simpler. When you go out when you offer to take someone out to like lunch and you pay for the lunch, did you do a nice thing?
I don't consider it nice or not. I consider it my responsibility if I invited them out.
You don't consider it nice to offer to bring someone to lunch? Just offering to say, hey, I would like to take you to lunch, I will pay for it. That's not a nice gesture?
Could be conceived as nice, but also it could be mean-spirited, and be like, hey, I don't think you can pay for lunch. I want to take you out to lunch. It can be a mean thing.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. When I use the word nice, what does nice mean?
Nice would be in my understanding, would be a term based on your own personal moralistic belief. Your moralistic belief that comes from religion, raising, things like that.
Okay. And you don't view, when I use the word nice in a sentence, if I used a word nice to say, someone did something nice for me, and I mean someone did something kind to me, right? You would not say that I bastardized the term nice, correct?
No, because it is a term that can actually mean a lot of things to a lot of people.
Okay. The term nice originally, the etymology of the word nice,
meaning to it.
The etymology of the word nice was trivial, foolish, or stupid. So that word evolving or generating a different meaning is okay, but we're right back to gender evolving or generating a different meaning is not okay.
Okay. Gender, I just got one question on gender that I will take, and I will take and promote you. Personally, I will tell people about you. But describe to me how raw gender can take and exist, because that's the one that takes and completely loses it.
How what gender?
You know what raw gender is. Correct?
Walt gender? What's the word? What's
LOL gender?
LLL gender.
Raw gender.
I've never heard of this. I don't know what this is.
LOL.
I don't know what this is. I think you might have been.
You've never heard of raw gender?
No. I think you might have been getting trolled.
I looked up gender terms from. I looked it up. Raw gender is a type of gender. LOL. Like laugh out loud, gender.
Yeah, when I look up LOL gender, I find League of Legends. So I don't know what LOL. I've never heard of LOL gender.
LOL gender is described by trans advocate websites as being able to transition from male to female whenever you laugh.
Okay, what does this have to do with what we're talking about?
Okay.
This low key sounds like something someone made up one time that like people are like almost
it is a part of that community, the community that takes and likes the idea of gender ideology. But okay, that's just one of the questions. Since you don't know about it, I'm sorry I brought it up. But okay, back to French. Gender originated from France, used as an item to describe things. Well, describing a multitude of things towards a certain thing would be more in the French word genre. Gender genre.
Well,
slightly different saying.
Even if we want to go that way, the French is a bastardization of the Latin, which meant birth, family, or nation. So like, it's almost like language evolves over time.
Yes, it does, but it also takes and creates various conflicts. To take and try and if transgender man, woman was equal to man, woman, why would there be the need for trans?
Oh, sure. If black women and white women are equal to each other, why do we have a word for black and white? It's the same concept. It's an adjective. It just describes the type of woman that they are, the type of man that they are. Trans is just an adjective. That's why trans woman is two separate words. It's not trans hyphen woman. It's a trans woman. Trans is acting as the adjective on the noun woman.
Okay. So it's a characteristic of a woman to be trans.
Yes, some women are trans and some are cis. So it would be a characteristic. A trans woman would be a trans woman, and a cis woman would be a cis woman. You can add other characteristics. So you could have a tall, black.
I'm sorry,
round.
But please do not use the term cisgender with me. I'm a believer of true gender. And as a believer of true gender, I would like for it to be referred to as true gender.
Nah, it's cis. That's the scientific term for it.
Cis is not the scientific term.
Yes, actually.
It is the term that many people take and use, but it is not the term.
What does
cis mean? It is a term used to describe microorganisms.
No, cis is a term that literally just means on the same side of. So when we put cis in front of gender, we're saying that your gender and sex are on the same, they're aligned. So this is why we would say you're cisgender. If you're saying you're not cisgender, then you would be trans because those are two tonal opposites. So if you're telling me that you're trans, congratulations. True gender is not a thing.
Okay. One thing I also noticed you took and said when defining humans was the complete, containing the complete human genome. That excludes certain groups. I mean, Down syndrome has problems with it.
No, they still have a complete.
Some of them
genome.
do not possess the complete thing.
Yes, they still have a human.
You also are taking and downplaying categories of humans who have problems.
No, they would still have a human genome, right?
But you said complete human genome.
Yeah, I would even argue that they still have a complete human genome. Yeah.
That was one that you took and used earlier. There are people that don't have the complete human genome that are still people.
Yeah, I would argue that every person has a complete human genome. But sure, if you want to make the contention, sure. Here, this is how easy this is. Okay, let's say we consider people with Down syndrome not to have a complete human genome. Then I would change my necessary condition because someone doesn't fit that necessary condition anymore. So that means this next necessary condition is no longer applicable. So now I would have to come up with a necessary condition that is applicable.
Okay.
But when I do this with people who say that, trans women right. Like, I'm not saying it's necessary unless you don't have it. I'm saying, okay, clearly to be a human, you must possess something different.
Okay. I'm sorry. I actually know a lot of disabled people. My parents are in the medical field. And just something about the woman who got pregnant, XY, medical reports show that she was artificially inseminated.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, well, the article you were taking and showing does not mention that she was artificially inseminated.
Yes, it does. It literally says. It literally says that they gave birth via IVF. It's in the settings of the case study. Gestational IVF.
Oh, it is. It is. Okay. Yes.
But just because somebody gets pregnant with IVF doesn't mean they're not pregnant, right? They're still pregnant. It's just through IVF.
Yeah, through IVF.
Okay.
That
doesn't change anything.
The thing is, the ability to take either pregnant can be a determining factor too.
So you're saying
if someone used that same, has been trying to use that same one, claiming
sorry,
that you got pregnant.
We can't really hear you now. You're breaking up quite a bit. Or it's not that you're breaking up. You're really muffled. You might need to back away from the mic for a second. But are you saying that in order to be a woman, you must be able to naturally get pregnant?
No.
Okay, so then it doesn't matter whether somebody gets pregnant through IVF or not. It has no bearing on it had no bearing on the conversation. The conversation was, what is the necessary condition to be a woman? Not, can women get pregnant naturally or not? Does that make sense?
There are so many conflated terms in it that it has no set meaning. It can't create one distinct. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now doing housework. But a objective reality, one that anyone who looks at it can agree objectively that this is true. If you look at a sphere that is completely circular, made out of crystal, could you agree with me that it's a crystal ball?
Sure.
That would be an objective reality.
Sure.
Now, a lot of the arguments I've seen you having, and currently we are having, are objective arguments, where it is a person's opinion and feelings, which don't make objective reality. Objective reality is going to be the same no matter what.
Yeah, when I'm talking about gender, I'm not talking about an objective thing. Gender is a social category, so you can't have an objective truth claim in a social category. It just can't really exist because social constructions by nature change within any given society or culture. So I don't think you can make objective truth claims. You can make the claim that it is objectively true that in America we tend to go towards men and women as like our gender category, sure. But you can't make the objective claim that man and women are the only gender categories that exist because gender is a wholly human-based concept. It's dependent on, like, for example, if Superman existed, right, and we're saying Superman is a man, right, that this wouldn't track because he's not human, right? And gender is gender. In order to be a man, you have to be an adult human male, according to like people who are gender critical. So like I would just say that we can't really have objective truths in a social construction.
Like I said, I look at it more from the objective form, the traditional French form, because, like I said, 26 years ago, when I was in high school, our study of gender was about objects. The current debate was whether a computer is male or female. And that was a legitimate debate back in 1996, 97. That was a debate that raged all over France.
I would just say, why? Like, what would be the difference in saying that, like, when we're categorizing based on objects, we would just say that, like, we would just say that, like, why wouldn't we just say that humans are are things? Humans are the things that we're categorizing in this sense. It doesn't make sense to say that, like, we can categorize all things except for people.
Because they're concrete articles that define whether something is masculine, feminine, neutral, or non-gender, which are the four traditional categories when used to take and define the objects. Now, if we take and add other ones into there, that further gets from the idea and becomes more confusing.
I don't think anything's confusing about it. I don't think people are generally confused when we categorize people by gender. I think it's kind of widely socially accepted as a thing that we do.
Now, you're saying that it's commonly accepted as something we do, but you have literally one of your arguments that you would want people to debate you on is that a trans man or woman is a man or woman.
This isn't arguing that gender is. This isn't arguing that gender
I'm arguing that you yourself are showing your argument right there where it is agreed upon is flawed by your own taking.
Wait, no, you're conflating this. I'm not saying that we don't have some issues on people who miscategorize, right? I'm saying that when it comes to gender, right, people accept that we categorize by gender. They're not confused when we categorize something by gender. There might be confusion based on, like, what those categories are, right? Like, I would argue that gender critical people are pretty confused because they consistently conflate sex with gender, but they're not confused that we do categorize by gender.
They are and they aren't, because they're not learned enough to take and know what gender is. I mean, if I could take and tell you the meaning of quantum physics, does that mean you'll understand it? If I could explain to you all of quantum physics, that would explain everything in the world, every reaction to everything. If I could, would that mean you would understand
it? If you taught it at a level that I can understand, yes.
The thing is, it's impossible. Even the greatest minds right now cannot truly grasp everything that is in quantum physics. And gender and gender ideology has led to, how many genders are there currently that you know of?
Because gender categories are socially constructed, I can't make an objective truth claim about how many social constructed categories exist. I wouldn't know the answer to that. I can say that typically, right, we typically put 2 to 4 if you consider boys and men and girls and women separate, which I tend to. We typically prescribe to 4 or 5. Like, you could say, like, 5 when we're adding in, like, non-binary and stuff like that. You could say we prescribe to, like, 5 gender categories typically, right, as our Western society. But that's, again, I can't make an objective truth claim about a socially constructed thing, and gender categories would be socially constructed.
So therefore, there is no proof that one way that trans men and women are men and women.
What?
Okay. If there's no way you can make a truthful, objective statement about gender, then there is no concrete evidence for your side or my side.
These things don't exist in a vacuum. These things don't exist in a vacuum. So when I'm saying trans men and women are men and women, I'm saying in relation to the gender categories that we have constructed in, like, per se, America. I wouldn't make these same claims if somebody said, hey, Jovan, what about the gender categories that indigenous people prescribe to? Well, I'm not going to make that same claim. I might change my claim up a little bit because they are going to have a third gender category, such as two-spirit, and that's going to be slightly different. So it might not be the case that all trans men are men and all trans women are women, because this is a separate culture, right? These things don't exist within a vacuum. They exist. You didn't just fall out of coconut tree, you know?
Mm-hmm. Thing is, there is no such gender, no such thing that says gender has to be this. The thing is, gender was originally set to be that. Gender as an idea that we're currently debating has only existed for what, less than a century?
So
if I'm right.
So the newness of something doesn't defeat its relevance.
Gender is also being brought up through the scientific community of a capitalist society. And haven't you said all capitalism is bad?
Thank you, Boo.
Are you,
I haven't.
What? Gender isn't capitalism.
Yeah, the scientists who've taken and brought forth the idea of gender, people like Kensing and all the other ones, all of them have taken and made money from the ideas that they put forth.
Yeah, people who live in a society in which money is required to live have to make money. Yeah, this doesn't mean that the things that they discover or the things that they come to understandings about in, like, scientific research are now null and void because money was involved to get there, right? Would be like the biggest straw man I've ever seen.
I'm just using an argument you've used against, say, landlords and things like that, against your own argument towards gender.
Landlords are bad
and it being a defining characteristic.
Let me just quickly separate this here. Landlords are bad because they take a resource that is necessary for survival and they exploit people and overcharge for said resource and suck up the market so that poor people are forced to spend money in excess in order to survive. Gender scientists
and they're also responsible for paying almost 40% of all schools. On the west side, they pay about 30% in really bad areas. But landlords actually pay up to 70% in high-income areas.
Yeah.
Of all schools.
Just FYI, the people who own the homes that lived there, if instead of landlording, we allowed them to own the homes, they would then pay that. Landlords don't pay that as like some altruistic thing. It's not like landlords are like, oh, I'm going to pay these things because I'm such a good person. They pay them because they're the taxes in the area, and whoever owns the property has to pay the taxes.
Yeah.
The person who's renting the place could pay those taxes if they were the people who own the property.
And they could own the property if they took and got a loan.
How could they own the property if the landlord owns the house? How could they own the house? Somebody already owns it.
It's called buying from them. I knew a gentleman, happened to be my great uncle. He took and made a lot of money taking and selling off plots of land. You were taking, at one time he was bringing in trailers, then he started building houses. He would buy the land, build it up, and sell it. He made profit doing that. He actually was, at the time, for 3 county areas, the third largest real estate dealer. He took and did it. He financed the houses through himself, taking and actually making less interest than the bank would. But he was a landlord. Was he evil?
How much was the property for him to pay monthly?
Like
just take one of his properties.
He actually had it in
take one of his properties.
He had it.
And how much did one of those properties cost in all in? So all in, how much did one of those properties cost?
It would depend, but for like his mid range, probably about 70 to 90,000.
Oh, and per month.
Is per month? I wouldn't know because he took and he would tie a lot of them together, so he would be making monthly payments to the bank that were in the 10,000 area.
Okay, I'll make this easier. Was he making a profit off of his properties?
Yes.
Then he's a leech. He was a leech. Yeah, he was making a profit. He's a leech.
He was one of the best people I know.
Doesn't make him not a leech.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what you told me. Niceness probably doesn't exist. It's about what you do, and you can be doing. So you can be good to you, but then leeching off of other people. He's not paying for those properties. Other people are paying for his properties for him. He's leeching.
He took and started it from literally $5,000.
Yep. He took those $5,000.
He put into land. He
took. So he is all in. He is $5,000. $5,000 is his investment. Every other money that's been going in has been paid for by other people. Other people have paid that. His investment is $5,000. Other people have paid the rest.
Yes.
He's a leech. How much does he have now? Like, what's his net worth right now?
But he took and built up. He built house. Unfortunately, he passed quite a few years ago, but his net worth and his actual amount of money he had are two completely different things. His net worth was almost $10 million. The actual amount of money he had was only $200,000.
So he had $10 million. He was all in for $5,000. So he leached $9,995,000.
No, he did not have $10 million.
He had $10 million in assets. He had $10 million in assets. His wealth was $10 million.
No.
Yes, he had $10 million in assets. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had he sold those assets, he would have had $10 million. So he was a leach of about $9,995,000. He was a leech of about $9,995,000. He was a leech.
Yeah, but look at the effort he put into it. He bought the land. He cleared the land. He built on it. He took and put that effort in.
Effort?
So you're saying that the effort that he took and done, yes.
To have other people pay his bills? That was his effort?
His blood. Yeah. He took and he would get cut. Huh?
Anyway,
his body into it.
I'm gonna throw you in so LOL gender, meet LOL, see you later. Shout out to Goose for the pay to move on. Fucker, what? He was a leech. Yeah. Spent $5,000 and then had other people pay his money and pay for his property. Yeah, that's leeching. Sorry, I don't know what you want me to. What would you call it? I would call it a leech. Me personally. Let's go through some super chats. They were all from Vamp Alyssa. So, caller, there are no more genders. I have stolen them all. Mwahahahahaha. That's very funny. Love that one. That's so funny. Also said, mics are friends, not food. Crazy. Hilarious. And then also said, cisgender T. We love that. Super chats do get highlighted on stream if you send a super chat on YouTube. Could you please validate that my dead grandfather was not a shitty person? No. Thank you guys for watching. And shout out to my YouTube members. Their names appear on the side. Membership starts at $2.99 and gets you access to early videos, uncensored videos, and members-only content. Also, shout out to Tier 4 members, Bamji, Matthew Holloway, Vampy, Kelsey Dooley, Kelsey K, Jake, Marceline, and Yemye. Tier 4 members get to help choose debate topics, and their contributions go a long way to helping me create higher quality content for all of you. Remember to subscribe for your daily dose of leftist debates, and I'll see you in the next video.